Today is the deadline for Governor Morrissey to act on bills passed by the legislature. We'll revisit last night's discussion on data centers and a historic candidate for the House of Delegates. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This is MetroNews Talkline. We are underway.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the MetroNews Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is MetroNews Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set line up link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Dave and TJ. You're on. MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave in Morgantown, TJ in Charleston. Gang's all here. Ethan Collins is our audio producer today. He's keeping you connected on one of our great radio affiliates across the state of West Virginia. And Jake Link is at Master Control for the MetroNews TV app, Facebook Live, and YouTube today. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line. The phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Governor Morrissey signing the transfer rule repeal just as we got off the air. We'll talk to Spring Valley Athletics Director Tim George about that a little bit later on this hour. There's still just south of 150 bills that the governor needs to make a decision on. We'll talk to Jeff Jenkins momentarily about that. Second hour, we're going to talk to an astronaut as the Artemis 2 rocket. The countdown is on. We are going at least to do a flyby of the moon. We'll talk to Chris Sembroski, an astronaut, about that coming up in the second hour. And Eric Nelson will join us, of course. It is the first of the month. We'll get an update on the revenue report. All that. Say good morning, TJ Meadows, who applied to be an astronaut at one time, but said, you know what? I just like accounting so much. I'm going to go into business instead. Good morning, sir.
Can't the guy do both? I think that's the moral of that story. You know, on my News Nation monitor right now, Chris Steyerwalt is opining, and they're talking about the fact that the president is going to attend a Supreme Court hearing. Of course, birthright citizenship oral arguments, I think, kicking off right now as we speak. Is that kind of like Denise Morrissey going to a committee meeting? I mean, is it kind of the same thing? I don't know.
Maybe kinda.
Maybe kinda. I guess that's vogue, though, nowadays, right? Politicians are going to cross the
statement.
The corridor. It makes a statement. And honestly, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I'm still trying to figure it out. But first time in history, right, that a president will go to a Supreme Court hearing?
To the best of my knowledge, which, again, I don't know what it says, but it says something. And it should not impact what the justices have to determine here. They have to determine the law. Whether or not he shows up, I mean, it makes a statement to the public. It makes a statement to the base. It should not make any statement in regards to the decision that the justices have to make here.
I think I don't like it.
My short thought.
I think I don't like it. I don't like the president going. I think it sends the wrong signal. Even if the justices, it has no effect on them, which I don't think it will. I don't like the muddying of the water.
It blurs the lines, doesn't it, of the separation of powers between the branches?
I think so.
Yeah. Speaking of the separation of powers, the state Supreme Court's in Morgantown today. They're over at the WVU Law School. President, by the way, will address the nation tonight at 9 o'clock regarding the Iranian war. He posted on, Truth Social? Is that his post du jour? Says Iran wants a ceasefire. Okay. I'm not sure who in Iran made that declaration, but we'll find out more tonight when the president takes the airwaves at 9 o'clock this evening. Today is the deadline for Governor Morrissey to take action on, I think it's just a little bit under 150 bills that were passed by the legislature that he has not made a decision on yet. Made a couple of decisions yesterday, signed a couple of bills. Jeff Jenkins has a whiteboard with all the bills, keeping track of all of them. He joins us this morning. Morning, Jeff.
How you doing, guys? Good to see you.
You too.
Good.
Yeah, you're right, Dave. So far he's signed 159 bills. And I think there are roughly, 304 somewhere around in there, maybe
Sounds right.
307, just a little north of 300. And he does have until midnight tonight. If he does not make decisions, they become law without a signature. The governor does have a couple of appearances. This hour, he'll be in Beaver down in Raleigh County for an economic development announcement at 10:30. He'll do a Mountaineer Mile dedication at Lake Stevens in Raleigh County around 11 o'clock. When he made an appearance yesterday at New River Gorge, he said, I got to get back to the Capitol working on these bills. So there actually may be more than 159 that he's acted on just the process of him acting on them, sending them over to the clerk's office, the clerk recording them, so there might be some that maybe several that he's done that we just don't know about yet, that maybe haven't made it up to the clerk's office yet. So it may not be as many as we think. But the two that he did yesterday, actually he did a third one, which we haven't seen filed yet, but it has something to do with PEIA. But it's the two that garnered some attention were the transfer repeal that you mentioned, Dave, and that the SSAC Board of Control took quick action on the same day and put the emergency rule into effect that Wayne Ryan talked about on MetroNews Sportsline last night. About you can transfer once as an underclassman, and you can go back once to your original school, but that has to be done before September 1st of your junior year. But upperclassmen cannot transfer as part of this rule. I'm sure there's always an appeals process, so there'll be an appeals process that put into place. But when the governor put out information that he had signed the bill, he said the SSAC is, putting together a rule that is, based on common sense and is balanced and those type of things. And the SSAC Board of Control acted yesterday and did that, put out their rule.
It felt to me, I'll defer to you guys, you follow this a little closer than I do. It felt to me, though, and I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with this, but it felt to me like the governor had been talking with the SSAC. They figured out what they were going to do, and then he agreed to sign the bill because he was happy with what the rule would become. Dave, am I reading that right, or do I have it wrong?
I think you're reading that mostly right. That rule was, that proposal, that idea had already been in the works when this bill was being introduced. And I think helped get this bill, get the repeal. Let's be clear. The bill was just a repeal of state code, got the repeal across the finish line because lawmakers knew what the SSAC, what action they were going to take if they passed this repeal. So I think that helped get it across the finish line.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the other one that he signed was one that was much talked about during the session is the income tax cut. Ended up being 5%. It went through several different variations. Of course, it actually started several months before the session when maybe about a month or so before the session, when the governor talked about a tax cut. In a State of the State address, he mentioned 10%. The very next morning, when the House Finance Committee gets his budget, it provides, they put down the revenue estimates to provide for a 5% cut. And that really got him off on the wrong foot with the House Finance Committee because he talked 10% and then it was 5%, but the governor answered and said, listen, we want to work with lawmakers on the other 5%, and we know what happened in the Senate. They did pass the 10% cut and would offset it by an increase in vape tax on vape products. And then the House eventually stripped that out and went with the 5%. And then in the end, on the final day, the Senate agreed with the House. So it's a 5%. You guys have talked about it. Morrissey should claim victory and move on. He's done that in some ways, and he did so by signing the bill. And they put out a release saying how much money it's going to save taxpayers. So it's a 5% cut, and so he did sign that yesterday also. But we're waiting on, obviously, several other bills that we've talked about too.
I mean, some of these things I'm looking here. Here's one, HB 5684. In the system right now, says still waiting on the governor, relating to authorizing Supreme Court of Appeals to create child protection commissioners. That would seem rather important and something that's notable. There's one talking about expanding drug screening programs for TANF. Governor hasn't signed that yet. So, I mean, there is the gamut when I'm looking through the system here of different things that are out there. And, of course, Jeff, if he doesn't veto them, just to be clear with folks, they become law on their own.
They do. They do. A couple of that we've talked about here and we've done stories about, the EMS funding bill. You've got talked about that, like $12 million in a fund for EMS to buy equipment and just do some other things. The first permanent funding for EMS in a bill. Those have been struggling systems over the last couple of years. Many have shut down because of finances. We've talked about the cryptocurrency, the crypto kiosk bill supported by AERP, which would put some regulations on crypto kiosk because it was an agreed to legislation by banking and other entities that it would put some regulations so you can only withdraw so much. It's a protection bill is basically what it is. And so we're waiting on the governor's his decision there. Also, there's a bill that would allow the state to bond out some money to do what many say are much needed repairs to the culture center on the Capitol complex. Deferred maintenance is really hurt that building. And I don't know where the governor is, if he wants the state to go into debt, because that's basically what it is, and pay off some of that with lottery money to do those repairs. So we'll see. I mean, that's just three. I mean, there's a ton of other bills out there, and each bill, Dave, right, and TJ, has a constituency, right? So people are keeping a close eye on these things. The child care bill is another one, right?
Yeah.
The bill that generally deals with child care.
Vape safety is still out there.
Yeah. The vape safety bill, the David McCormick bill that he backed. House Bill 4002, 4, 5, 9. Those are all House priorities, TJ. That was the collaboratory, the recharge program, skills to work. The sales tax on construction materials. Remember that one, TJ? The state's charging itself sales tax on construction materials. Those bills are all still out there. And the 18 to 20-year-old concealed carry bill still pending. So that just gives you an idea, some of the things he's got to make decisions on today.
Jeff, you hit on this, and to be fair to the governor here, so I'm looking at some of these bills, and even though session has been over, some of these didn't actually get to the governor until last week.
Yeah, I did. I spoke to someone in the clerk's office last Thursday, and was told we just literally wheeled down a basket load of bills to him. So it does take time. It does take time.
And vape was one of those.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Jeff, in your veteran experience, how much communication, because lawmakers all went home. They went home, session's over.
Right.
How much communication is there between the governor's office reaching out to whether the Senate or the House to go, hey, what exactly were y'all trying to do here? Does that happen during this period?
It has happened. It has happened in past years. I'm not sure it's happened much this year, but I think it's a common thing that they will. There'll be because you got attorneys here, working on both sides, and so you got the governor's attorneys. You've got attorneys in the House and Senate that have helped put these bills together, and analysts and different things. And I think there's commonly in the past been conversation. I don't know how much. Quite honestly, there's been conversation with this administration, this to me just seems like a lot of bills for the last day. Just seems like a lot that are still left.
It's going to be interesting to see what he doesn't sign come tomorrow, because you've got midterm elections coming up. He's a newer governor, second time out. It'll be interesting to see what he does not sign and what he lets become law, and how that politically may affect things moving forward. Something to watch.
Yeah, or if any at all.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep you posted over at the website, wvmetronews.com. Jeff, we appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much.
Okay. See you guys.
Coming up, Stubblefield Institute held a panel discussion last night regarding data centers over in the Eastern Panhandle. Brad McElhenney was watching that. We'll talk to him about it next.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Looking for a career that truly matters? Healthcare offers stability, great benefits, and careers that are in demand right now. From patient care to technology and support roles, healthcare careers offer flexibility and opportunity. Not sure where you fit? Take the quick healthcare career quiz at explorehealthcareerswv.com. Discover the path that's right for you. Healthcare careers, where passion meets purpose.
Welcome back, class of 2011.
Most likely to be a millionaire, didn't quite make it.
Hey, reunion's not over yet.
Over here, millionaire, smile.
Make room, people.
Who is that?
Congratulations to our very own Millionaire for Life.
Never too late, man.
You could win up to $1 million every year with Millionaire for Life. Play in store or online today. West Virginia Lottery. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Senator Shelley Moore Capito is more than a true conservative and proud West Virginian. She's a champion of our way of life. She doesn't just fight, she delivers. Working with President Trump to close the border and keep our families safe, protect our energy jobs, and cut taxes. And establishing the New River Gorge National Park, a powerful economic engine. Shelley Moore Capito, our senator, our champion.
I'm Shelley Moore Capito, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Capito for West Virginia.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All-new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All-new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Last night, Stubblefield Institute hosted a panel discussion focusing on data centers. We talked about it. Brad McElhenney covered it. Many of the questions and topics we have discussed on this show was discussed during last night's panel discussion. It's a lot of discussing going on there. Jefferson County Commissioner Kara Keys had some pointed thoughts about local control and whether or not how much of it actually exists with these developments. Let's go ahead and play that clip, Jake.
As a Republican, I greatly appreciate local control, and I think that was a failure in this bill, and I'm proud to say that. So there's a lot of things, and then as a commercial appraiser, this type of lack of regulation is not done anywhere. And so I want to preface that. All data centers throughout the country have local control. And so you can be upset at the bill, but don't be upset at folks trying to do the right thing. And don't be upset with local folks who fought back. But but be critical of this bill. This bill allowed Charleston to supersede local control. Everything we had in place is thrown out the window. And they might say, they might market this as a different name, but it's a dad.
Kind of summed up a lot of the concern that folks have regarding local control and the lack thereof when it comes to these data centers. Good morning, Brad.
Hello and good morning. And yes, we all covered House Bill 2014 last year, and that is, of course, what they call the Power Generation and Consumption Act. An aspect of that bill, which was signed into law, is that data center developers that are approved can pursue their own power systems. But there were other aspects of the bill too, and it divided the tax base with state government taking a pretty big share and smaller shares available for local governments. And then finally, the bill indicated that local governments, like the Jefferson County government that Commissioner Keyes spoke of, are generally prohibited under this West Virginia legislation from placing limits on any certified microgrid district or certified high impact data center project. And those restrictions that they can't move forward with include restrictions on zoning, horticulture, noise, the view, the lighting, the development, the land use. And, you think about how West Virginia is a small state, both in terms of population and geography, but you think of how many kinds of places there are within the state. The Eastern Panhandle is very different from the coal fields. The Mid-Ohio Valley is very different from the highlands of West Virginia. And so, I think that bill raised concerns, but it was sort of in the abstract. But now that all these data center proposals are popping up across the state, the Eastern Panhandle, Putnam County, Canaan Valley, all over the place, it's becoming more real to people, and the residents of those communities, I think, are becoming increasingly aware of how little power they have to shape the developments that they may be getting.
Did the conversation yield any fixes last night, Brett? I think the problem is well defined. Any ideas about how to get everyone to agree on the fix?
It was a good conversation, and it included not only Commissioner Keyes, but also the leader of an activist group in Tucker County, and then Chris Morris, who is, we're using the word czar on this program, right? Chris Morris is the data center czar for the state. Everyone gave him a lot of credit for listening, and there were some practical pieces of discussion. It was sort of back and forth. Unfortunately for me, it wasn't like checking boxes on the whiteboard, but some back and forth. Like when these issues go before the Department of Environmental Protection for like the air quality or whatever, that is not necessarily going hand in hand with the state's specific approval of data center projects. And Chris Morris acknowledged that and suggested that the DEP's end of this oversight maybe could be more refined or more attuned to the data centers themselves.
Brad, we'll have to leave it there. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update. Check in with the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. It's possible we'll be hearing today about decisions Governor Patrick Morrisey has made on more than 100 bills. Today is the bill signing deadline. This morning, the legislative website says Morrisey has signed 140 bills from the session. Lawmakers completed work on just more than 300 bills. Bills become law without Morrisey's signature after today. The governor's in Raleigh County this morning, wrapping up an economic development announcement this hour in Beaver, scheduled to be at Lake Stevens next hour for a Mountaineer Mile event. The governor has announced state workers will get a half day off Friday for Good Friday as we head into the Easter weekend. The 5 justices of the West Virginia Supreme Court are at the WVU College of Law this morning, wrapping up a Q&A with law school students and then hearing 3 cases on oral argument. It's the High Court's annual visit to the Morgantown campus. It'll be a bluegrass music night tonight in Morgantown.
West Virginia native and Grammy Award-winning bluegrass legend Tim O'Brien's performing at the Canada Creative Arts Center tonight. Before he hits the stage in the Gladys G. Davis Theater, he'll be spending time with music students, alumni, and faculty.
The class has been in session for a while, and I'm just there to kind of compare notes with them and try to troubleshoot a tiny bit.
The show starts at 7:30, and tickets are still available. I'm Mike Nolting for WVMetroNews.com.
You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com to apply. That's WVMetroNews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
Looking to advance your career without putting life on hold? Earn your MBA from Glenville State University in as little as 18 months. Choose from in-demand concentrations like artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and healthcare administration. Whether you're leading teams, analyzing data, or protecting digital systems, our programs are designed for working professionals who want flexibility and results. Take the next step with an MBA from Glenville State University. Learn more and apply today at glenville.edu.
West Virginia's own rocket boy Homer Hickam says he'll watch with interest today as Artemis heads to the moon.
We hope that everything goes well, and I think it will. But I think there'll probably be a few glitches on the way, and we're going to learn an awful lot in the process.
Hickam says those on board are extremely well-trained and extremely motivated. Part of Artemis was manufactured at the Constellium plant in Ravenswood. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
Text line is 304-TALK 304. Phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. First of the month, Eric Nelson stops by second hour. We will discuss revenue reports from the month of March. Also, Hoppy will join us today. And historic candidates for the House of Delegates. Also, just a little bit of advice. Please be careful as you scroll through your social medias today on what you repost. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. Just be careful what you repost today and take as fact on, the first of the month here.
Well, it's sound advice. Press release from the governor, which I would not think would be an April Fool's joke.
I hope not, but
okay.
Go on.
He's announcing Amazon, new facility in Davisville and Beaver, Raleigh County, 500 jobs.
Hey, if you're getting... This is good for the governor. Oh, not just good for the governor. Good for the state of West Virginia. If you're getting Amazon, you're getting Google to make commitments, and those companies are announcing and allowing you to make those announcements, that's good news. That's good news. We're going to have to get the governor to come by and stop and visit with us a little bit when he gets all these bills signed.
Yeah, he makes a really good point in this presser. This is the first time in West Virginia that you'll see Amazon delivery trucks operating here in the state. Spent a lot of time in Columbus in my career. You can order something from Amazon and get it that day in Columbus. They've got those trucks all over the place. So that'll be rather cool to see. I mean, think about it. You ever seen an Amazon truck drive in your neighborhood? I haven't. It's always U.S. Mail or U.S. UPS, FedEx.
Actually, yes, would be the answer to that question. Yeah. I have. In fact, where I live, we're not far from a huge Amazon warehouse. So
yeah,
that's
across
probably,
the border though, right?
Yeah, it's in the it's across the border. But
see, we don't get that kind of stuff down where I live, Dave. You get all the good stuff.
Oh yeah, it's all the good stuff. The Amazon trucks, which stop at my neighbor's house almost every day. By the way, they know it. It's nothing. It's no secret.
Hey, there you go.
All right, 304-TALK 304. That's the text line. One of the bills the governor did sign yesterday was House Bill 4425. That repealed state code mandating the one-time high school transfers for high school student athletes and inadvertently created the high school transfer portal. At the same time, the WVSSAC Board of Control signed off on a new emergency rule for transfers. It allows students entering their freshman or sophomore year a transfer without losing eligibility. You'd also be allowed to transfer back to your home school without losing any eligibility. Tim George is the athletics director at Spring Valley High School. He spoke to lawmakers during the session advocating for the repeal of that 2023 law. He joins us on MetroNews Talkline this morning. Tim, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning, guys. I really appreciate you having me. I appreciate everything that you guys do for high school sports in West Virginia. I tell everybody how lucky we are to have you guys. Just saw Joe Mercado at our baseball game this morning, and he's definitely the hardest working guy in West Virginia. I joke that he has the MetroNews chopper around because he flies all over the state, and he's a good one. We're lucky to have him.
Yeah, you got a good one this morning. You got Spring Valley Ripley over at Jack Cook Field over on the Marshall campus. How's that game going, by the way, if I may ask?
Well, so when I walked over back to my truck here, it was 2-0. Ripley had a couple of runners, but we've had a couple of rain delays too. So we're trying to get through this. So it's a great place to play a game. It's we've moved the baseball state tournament down to Huntington at Marshall, and I think it's really a good experience for our kids to get to play in that environment and on that field. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, really looking forward to the baseball tournament. It's coming up in June. All right, Tim, the new emergency rule was unanimously passed by the Board of Control, SSAC Board of Control. Are you satisfied with where we are now with the transfer rule?
I think we took a step in the right direction. There's a spectrum with this transfer stuff between, what I call the chaos that we've seen, to where, people can move around pretty freely. And then some people would say that you should stay at home and play at the school where you reside. And I think we found a middle ground. And here in West Virginia, I know that school choice is a big factor for a lot of people. And I think the school choice people were able to still have enough freedom there for them to do what they want to do. I think that maybe we have some guardrails to prevent kids from transferring in the middle of the school year, playing at school A in fall sports, and then playing at school B in spring sports or winter sports. I think that's a good thing for education. I think we're still trying to do what's best for our kids with education-based athletics, and sometimes when you find the middle ground, it's a little painful for everybody. Not everybody's going to be thrilled to death, and I think that's where we're at. And this should allow us to move forward. And what I was really happy to see, and I think that a lot of people in the state of West Virginia could learn from this, is we had a problem. We identified it. We used our collective voice to go try to make a difference. And the legislature was great. I went and spoke at the Senate Education Committee. They had a lot of really good questions. They seemed to value my opinion, which I appreciate. And then we were able to move forward with that. And that's rewarding. To see that we're able to work together to solve problems in our state.
Talk about the balance that you and others in the SSAC are going to have to strike moving forward. The control is back with the SSAC and its governing boards and bodies. The legislature could go the other way if they don't like what you all do in the long term. So talk about moving forward and making sure you balance that responsibility that is now back on your side of the court, so to speak, and how that needs to work to ensure that you maintain that balance where everybody has a little pain.
Yeah, so I was at the Capitol. I was there. I was already in Charleston for the girls' state basketball tournament. The following week, we were there for the boys' state tournament. So I probably went over to the Capitol 4 or 5 times. I talked to as many legislators as I possibly could because I value their opinion. I want to work together with everyone. I don't want to fight. I want to work together to find solutions for our kids. And they did. Multiple people said that, hey, we're going to be watching. We want to see how you guys handle this. And I think we handled it appropriately. But I don't mean this as an attack, but I'm also going to be watching. I want to see, have we been able to fix this chaos, and what can we do to make this better moving forward? This is something that could be evolving, like we've had with other issues in West Virginia. And, I want what's best for our kids, and that's really the most important thing for me. I don't want to have super teams. I don't want to have super teams that turn into bottom dwellers. I don't want to have, South Charleston High School didn't have a girls basketball team this year, and I think a large part of that was this transfer law, and I hate to see that. West Virginia high school sports are awesome. I think we're doing a great job, and there's a reason that people are so passionate about what we do. It's a great thing. We represent our communities. Our kids are having great experiences, and we need to protect that. I think that's worth protecting. But at the same time, we do need to work together, and we need to, listen to our legislatures, listen to our communities, and see what's best for everybody. And I think we've found a pretty decent middle ground right now. And like I think was explained, this is an emergency rule. So next year at this time, we'll have to pass a permanent rule. And I would imagine that if it's not exactly the same as our emergency rule, it'll be pretty close. But things are always evolving in high school sports in West Virginia, and that's why it's so important that the schools have control over the rulemaking process, because we have a lot of flexibility built into our process that's tried and true. And I think we're on the right track now.
Tim George is joining us, Spring Valley Athletics Director. And that flexibility, I think, is key to all of this, Tim, because nobody wants a student athlete who parents get a job at a different district or different county. Sure. Nobody wants a kid that, to lose eligibility when there are things out of his control. Sure. What I think we wanted to stop was, and these are real concerns. These things were happening. You win a state championship, and then the head coach is immediately worried that his quarterback might transfer to another school because, well, maybe they got more receivers, or coach is worried that he may lose his point guard after you win a state championship. Those things were happening, and that's what we don't want to happen in high school. That takes away what makes it special, and that takes away the purpose of high school athletics, education-based high school athletics.
Correct. Yeah. So, I mean, we saw an instance, and I'm not going to get too specific. I just don't think that's a professional way to handle it. But we did see an instance where there was a kid on a fall sports state championship team transferred and played at a different school for basketball on the following Monday. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not good. We don't want things like that. And then, we've had teams that were there's another team that could potentially have been in the state football championship now that might even be struggling to field a team the following year. And that's nobody can say that that's good. That's bad. That's not what we're looking for. And not all transfers are bad. We understand that. There's so many different situations as an athletic director that we see. And, it's important that we have some flexibility, and we do have a screening process through our appeals and waivers process with the SSAC Board of Directors. So that if there is a weird situation, we can always appeal that. I've been involved in quite a few of those over my career, and it's generally a pretty open, positive experience whenever you do have a legitimate reason to transfer.
Would you agree with the idea that if we valued student athletes more from the perspective of we're teaching teamwork, leadership, and molding young men and young women, if we valued that more than we value, let's say, the scoreboard or who's going to get the most points and that kind of thing, would we even find ourselves in these situations? Because I'm not sure that we would.
Yeah, I mean, we live in an ever-changing world. Travel ball, these types of different outside influences have become more and more popular. And how many times do you look on social media and a kid, they go to a tournament with 4 teams and now they're the world champs and they've got a championship belt or a new ring or whatever, and we live in a different society that maybe we grew up in. But those are the values, like you said. In West Virginia, we still believe in community. We believe in hard work. We believe in teaching our kids to do the right things. And I think that, that term that you used a second ago, education-based athletics that are an extension of our classroom, those are things that we want in our schools. Those are things that we want in our athletic programs. And there are way more life lessons to be learned through sports than just wins and losses or winning a championship or whatever else. I think that we have to keep that focus on what's really important.
Tim George, Spring Valley Athletics Director. You can read our story at WVMetroNews.com. Governor Morrissey signing House Bill 4425, repealing the transfer rule state law. All right, get back to your baseball game, Tim. We appreciate you taking a few minutes.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. I definitely appreciate what you guys do for our state and for our kids involved in high school sports.
Well, thank you very much for the kind word. And let me tell you, Tim, it's a privilege for us, and I can speak for everybody, to get to highlight what these guys do guys and girls do on and off the court and on the field. Absolute privilege. We love it.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys. And I always, on a Friday night road game, we're always glad to listen to Fred Persinger, and he's the man as far as I'm concerned. You guys are doing a great job.
All right. Make sure Joe Bricado gets a hot dog at the ballpark today, okay?
All righty.
All right. Thanks, Tim.
Have a good day.
You as well. Tim George, Spring Valley Athletics Director. Got to take a break. Back in a moment. This is Talkline from the Incrova Insurance Studios.
Ghosted is never fun, especially by your network. Cyber threats don't announce themselves. They slip in quietly, disrupt operations, and disappear before you know what happened. CityNet's cybersecurity services provide proactive monitoring, threat detection, and expert response, so your business stays connected and protected. Commit to a relationship built on trust and reliability. Learn more at citynet.net today. And remember, CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZLM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZLM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
Looking for a career that truly matters? Healthcare offers stability, great benefits, and careers that are in demand right now. From patient care to technology and support roles, healthcare careers offer flexibility and opportunity. Not sure where you fit? Take the quick healthcare career quiz at explorehealthcareerswv.com. Discover the path that's right for you. Healthcare careers, where passion meets purpose.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. It makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
All the sports West Virginia is talking about.
Nikki Izzo-Brown, coach of the nationally ranked WVU women's soccer team.
I think they're just having a very good understanding of each other.
Join Kyle Wiggs, Brett Howe, and Coach Hunter weeknights for Sportsline on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Text line is 304-TALK-304. Phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Coming up, top of the hour, going to talk to astronaut Chris Sembroski. As Artemis 2 is on the launch pad, the countdown is on. We are going to the moon. Or at least going to fly around it and come back. Isn't it amazing? We haven't been to the moon in 50 years now?
53, I think.
53 years?
Yeah. It's sad. Is what
we just kind of gave up. We're like, been there, done that. And then we never went back.
Yeah. We used to have, and maybe we still do, I hope we still do, we used to have this spirit, though, that says once you climb a mountain, you go find the next one. And I feel like with the space program, maybe we did that with the shuttle missions, but then it just kind of, we're not going to do this anymore.
It is really expensive. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Well, Discovery is. Is it not?
I suppose.
I mean, look, it's more than going to the moon again. It's more than a precursor to get to Mars in my mind. It is unifying. I mean, how often do we look to something in America that the rest of the world can buy into as well, and we can be unified in a goal that we want to go beyond what is possible, and we want to see what is out there for ourselves and go further and further and further. We don't have that today. I would argue if we did, maybe the world would be a better place.
That's some deep thoughts there, TJ. Some deep thoughts.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, I'm excited about it. Look, I know I'm the nerd in the group, and I nerd out of these things. And it's easy to see from if you were in our morning call this morning, you would know TJ's all jazzed about this, and everybody else is like, okay. But look, man, you don't know until you discover. You don't know what the future will hold. And I just think that using all of our technology for something like this, rather than blowing each other to kingdom come, is a better use of our time and resources. Call me Pollyanna, but there you go.
Fair enough. We're going to talk to a real astronaut about all that coming up at 11:06 this morning. A couple of things we do know. Marshall women's basketball play in the women's NIT semifinals tonight at Arkansas State. That game tips at 8 o'clock. WVU men's basketball will take on Stanford tomorrow night in Las Vegas for the college basketball crown. So basketball action coming up tonight and tomorrow here in the Mountain State as well. And as you heard Tim George say, there's a bunch of high school baseball going on over at Jack Cook Field. Joe Bricato's got all of that covered for you at WVMetroNews.com. Meanwhile, keeping an eye on the U.S. Supreme Court, literally, because I can't hear any of it. I'm just watching the scrolls. Justice Elena Kagan told the Solicitor General the 14th Amendment does not support your case. And John Roberts seemed apparently skeptical of the Trump administration's case for birthright citizenship there as well. So, again, I'm reading the scroll. I can't hear any of the arguments, just reading the scroll and the closed caption on the screens this morning. So we're watching that as everything else unfolds today.
I mean, despite your bent, whether you like what the Trump administration wants to do or you don't, it's been law for quite some time, well over 100 years, that if you're born here, you're a citizen here. So that's a high hurdle. It should be a high hurdle to reverse the law. So we'll see what happens.
304-TALK, 304, that's the text line. We'll squeeze in a couple of texts before the top of the hour break. We're back in a moment.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now, you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play responsibly.
When heart surgery is needed, you deserve world-class care, close to home and always within reach. At WVU Medicine's Heart and Vascular Institute, our board-certified surgeons perform heart transplants, valve repairs, and other complex procedures using the latest techniques, including robotic surgery. For more information, visit wvumedicine.org/heart.
Are you ready to reach the finish line of retirement? At the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group, we provide comprehensive guidance for retirement planning in West Virginia. With years of experience, we'll draft a plan tailored for your unique goals. Whether you're just starting or nearing retirement, we make the process as simple as possible, easy, and stress-free. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to set up a complimentary consultation and get started on your plan today. Let's work toward your dream retirement together.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. Makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Talk 304. Texter says, wow, TJ gets excited over an Amazon van. They're all over Morgantown and Wheeling, says the texter. And space. And space. We're going to talk about that coming up at the top of the hour.
I want to be able to get my golf balls same day, people. Forgive me.
Texter says, what made President Trump change his mind about Iran? Did he change his mind? I don't know where he is, to be honest, from hour to hour. Did he change his mind? Where was he? I mean, he said there's maybe a ceasefire.
He's everywhere. That's what he says. I mean, we'll find out tonight. But that's the beauty of Trump.
Yes.
He's everywhere and then can make a case that he was everywhere. And it's like an illusion, folks. I mean, nothing sticks to the guy. That's why they call him Teflon Don. And we'll see what happens after this. But, I mean, it's the price of gas, isn't it, Dave?
Oh, yeah.
So it's over $4 now in the Valley.
It was still $3.99 when I came into work this morning. I don't know what it is now. It's a lot. They have a slot where you can deposit your left arm to pay for your gas if needed. All right, second hour coming up. We're going to talk about space, and Hoppy Kercheval drops by. An historic candidate for the House of Delegates. Wink, wink. It's Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Hoppy Kercheval, 5:55 a.m. How early did you get in that day, by the way?
Probably 3:30.
How long did you do sign-on shift?
I signed on like 7 years.
Not all.
6 days a week for 7 years.
Lightweight.
I know. Couldn't do it now. Now when I wake up at 3:30 is to go to the bathroom. And go back to bed.
Welcome to the 2 o'clock hour, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com on a Wednesday, and I apologize because Stephanie Pauly is our producer, one of the producers of the show, and normally she has everything. We have a thing we call the run sheet, where we have who we're calling and what we're doing and so on. And so and Stephanie, I don't even know whether you know this. I did the run sheet today, and I put the wrong date on. I put 2025 on it, because how many of us in modern day actually write the date out anymore? I mean, you did it when you were in school. You did it back when people wrote checks and whatever. This may have been the first day that I have written the date down, and I was responsible for putting together the sheet. And my co-host, the lovely and talented AB, starts the show by saying January 24th, 2025, because she read it directly off the sheet. And it is indeed the year of our Lord, 2026.
Oh, yeah, he did find something out. Sonia, you're related to Thomas Jefferson?
Well, no, I'm not related to Thomas Jefferson, but I am related to Samuel Kercheval, who was a historian who...
I'm going to tell you something about Samuel Kercheval. Him and Jefferson out smoking corn silk. Kercheval told him, Thomas, I don't know about this country. Might want to start again.
He could.
So I don't have a monitor here, so I really can't see what happens at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So at what point do I pop up? When the music starts and Mr. Announcer comes on?
Yeah.
So they see all the little panic things that I do that I'm still in the process of setting up?
Yes. They see you shuffle about uncomfortably. They see you blow the dust off your headphones. They see you put in like 2 cough drops at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I don't do 2 at the same time. Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't know that. I should probably... Now, these shows are archived, right? So I can go back and watch them.
Yes.
So I could live this show in real time and then go home and, when I say something to Linda like, hey, did you hear when I did this? And I don't watch it. Well, let's get in front of the TV and watch me do it again for 3 straight hours.
Yes, it's archived just like the audio podcast.
Ah, that's right.
And see, this is the thing that gets the NCAA in trouble. Excuse me. When it goes to court here. Is there a clock or not? Greg, we talk about the clock all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If he began in 2019, the clock should have run out, whether he's played the 4 years or not. And that's part of the argument, because some guys go right through the clock, right? TJ Finley, we've mentioned many times on this show. 7th team coming up this year. He's playing for Incarnate Word. He's played 7 seasons at 7 different schools. Now, why hasn't his clock started? Why doesn't he have the 5-year clock? So if you're Aguilar, I get it.
He just bouncing him off the ropes. Somebody save this man. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Very nice, very nice. He hit him with everything he didn't want.
Yeah. 10 seconds remaining. There'll be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
Things aren't always going to be great. And sometimes, you can work really, really hard and it's still not great. You're still not successful. But, if you continue to do it, one way or another, things are going to be, work out. You're going to be successful. And it may not be in the world's eyes, but, God's made us this way. He's blessed us with so many things. And I think that's one of our attributes that we need to have is we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work hard. And if it doesn't work out exactly how we want, just keep plugging away because God's got better plans.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Second hour of MetroNews Talkline in the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave in Morgantown. TJ is in Charleston. Ethan Collins is our radio producer today for our great radio affiliates across the state of West Virginia. Jake Link is handling the video stream on the MetroNews TV app, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Coming up, Hoppy Kercheval will join us. And historic House of Delegates candidate Hoppy writes about it this morning at WVMetroNews.com. And a little bit later, Revenue Secretary Eric Nelson will give us the latest numbers from the month of March. We'll get to your text as well, 304-TALK-304. That's the text line. Phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Once again, say good morning. TJ Meadows in Charleston. Morning, TJ.
Good morning, sir. Looks like a little rain down here. What are you expecting up there?
We had a lot of rain earlier this morning. Big system came through and more rain expected. So, oh, shoot, won't be able to mow the grass today. I was really wanted to mow the grass this afternoon.
Darn it.
Daggone. Might have to wait till next week now, because then it's going to be wet. You got to let it dry out.
Yeah, that's a mess. Got to get it dry.
Keeping an eye on the U.S. Supreme Court this morning. Looks like Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson is now questioning the U.S. Solicitor General over the Trump administration stance on birthright citizenship. So we're keeping an eye on that as the show progresses. Also, we're keeping an eye on Artemis 2. The rocket is scheduled to launch this morning from Kennedy Space Center in Florida, a 10-day mission that will take the crew around a loop around the moon and then bring them home. Just, nonchalantly, we're going to go to the moon and back over the course of the next 10 days. For more on this mission, please welcome to the program astronaut, U.S. Air Force veteran. He flew into orbit with Inspiration 4, worked for Blue Origin. Chris Sembroski joins us on MetroNews Talkline this morning. Chris, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here and very exciting to have an historic moment with 4 humans going back around the moon for the first time in 50 years.
So, Chris, why? Why have we not been to the moon in the last 5 decades after spending so much energy to get there in the first place?
Right. I mean, that's a fantastic question. And when you start looking back at history, you realize that the space race was won back in the early 1970s. We stepped foot on the moon and beat the Russians there. However, the promise of seeing new lunar bases and new space development came back and focused around low Earth orbit, which is where the space station is for the next 30, 40 years. We had the Space Shuttle program, and then we had the International Space Station, and they've been doing a tremendous amount of science. However, that's all the funding that NASA has been able to scrounge together, and it's been an expensive program. So we diverted resources locally. However, that moon, it's been calling us back ever since. And so it's a very exciting time in history to see this convergence of excitement and commercial space development that's bringing the cost of launch down so that we can now cheaply get to low Earth orbit. And now we can expend some of those more expensive resources and finally fulfill that promise of what we made to ourselves 50 years ago and send more people farther out and explore these planetary bodies like the moon and beyond.
I'm going to call you Hanks. That's your call
Please
sign.
do.
You can explain that at some point if you want to. But Hanks, yes, it's expensive, but isn't it worth it? Isn't it worth it?
It's absolutely worth it. I mean, you'll hear people talk about spin-offs from NASA, how every dollar we spend on this program gives us $7 back into the economy. But more than that, it's an inspiration for future explorers and scientists and inventors for our country and for the world. Without having that shining light of moonlight, I guess you could say, or that source of inspiration or these opportunities, you don't get the same development in technology and innovation that you would otherwise.
So we're talking to Chris Sembroski, astronaut, U.S. Air Force veteran. He flew into orbit with Inspiration 4. What challenges do these astronauts face going to the moon and back versus astronauts who would remain in low Earth orbit, say, on a space shuttle mission?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So on low Earth orbit missions, whether you're flying on a Dragon, on a SpaceX rocket, or you're flying even with a Russian Soyuz, if you're just going to the International Space Station, you can get back to Earth within a matter of hours. When you're going out to the moon, as soon as they make that final translunar injection burn that sends them out of Earth orbit and on their way towards the moon, there's no, hey, I want to get off this ride and come home button. You've got to keep going. And gravity's in the driver's seat, and you are out there on your own, for 10 days. So you've got to deal with if there's any extrasolar flares that come up unexpectedly. So it could be a lot of radiation that could come by. And if there's any medical emergencies, they're going to have to deal with it on their own and stabilize the crewmate who might be incapacitated. Those are some of the things. And then, of course, there's going to be a bit of a delay, just a couple-second delay in communication, which might be unsettling for a little bit. But they are on their own where they can't stop by a service station in case something breaks. They're going to have to be masters of their capsule.
This sets us up for Mars, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the moon is such a great training ground for all the challenges that we're going to see traveling farther out. It's that next step. Now, granted, Mars is a much bigger undertaking. That's months of being on your own with gravity in the driver's seat. But the moon is a great place to practice everything we've been learning and trying to develop over a number of years to be able to go to Mars and beyond.
Talking to Chris Sembroski, astronaut, U.S. Air Force veteran. He flew into orbit with Inspiration 4, worked for Blue Origin. Is it even possible to describe to a couple of schlubs like us what it is like to blast off and go into low Earth orbit, to be in outer space? Can you even try?
So, the best part about going to space is being able to come back and tell stories about it, right? And so I get a chance to talk to lots of kids in schools, and describing what that microgravity feeling is like at first is very unsettling. It's like you're laying on your bed and with your head hanging backwards off the side of it, you get that pressure feeling. It's not so pleasant at all, but after about a day, floating in microgravity is so much fun. It's as if you were born to be there, and you could just forget about getting dizzy or sick because your inner ear turns off, and you can just fly around like Superman, which is absolutely fun. And then just experiencing the Earth and what it looks like from that altitude. We flew higher than what the space station astronauts experience on a daily basis, and being able to see the Earth in that full glorious beauty that it presents itself in is just breathtaking, and it changes you. And these 4 astronauts going to the moon are going to really, again, give us another opportunity to see that that Earthrise picture that Apollo 8 experienced, over 50 years ago, where they see that beautiful blue and green and white orb coming up over the horizon of this gray, desolate desert of the moon. That contrast of colors, it really moves people to either just fall in love with the Earth all over again, or realize, wow, this is such an incredibly special spaceship, a bubble of life. We should really protect it as we continue to explore the universe.
If I understand correctly, this is the first time that man is going to be on the far side of the moon, or at least for some extensive period of time. Do I have that right? And if I do we have any idea about what we're going to see that's different that we haven't seen before?
Right. So we have had human eyes on the far side of the moon. However, this particular path that these astronauts are taking is going to go over parts of the moon that we haven't seen before. We're going to see more of the poles, the north and south poles of the moon, and the altitude that they're flying by the moon is going to be higher than what they've had in the past. And so we're going to see a stark contrast of different craters that we just haven't had human eyes on before. We've had probes and satellites and missions to photograph the dark side. Well, they call it the dark side, but it's the far side of the moon. Yeah, we don't want to call it the dark side because the dark side faces us sometimes. But yeah, the far side of the moon, it's going to look a lot more full of craters than we are normally used to seeing. And I was texting Victor Glover, one of the pilot on board, and told him, hey, bring us something back that we haven't seen before. And he gave me a thumbs up. You got it, man. So I'm looking forward to those pictures as they get those 90 minutes when they're out of communication with the rest of the Earth on their own to give us that beautiful glimpse of the far side.
And we're talking to Chris Sembroski, astronaut, former U.S. Air Force veteran. That has to be a unique feeling, and only a few people ever have experienced it, being on the other side of the moon, completely cut off from Earth, no communication. These four guys, right? 4 guys are going to be together.
Three guys and 1 lady, yeah.
4 people
Yeah.
going to be completely cut off from Earth. That has to be an indescribable, such a unique and indescribable experience. Because what's the club there? Like a dozen people, maybe? I'm just thinking in my head. That's incredible.
Yeah, maybe about 18, I think, because there was always that other astronaut orbiting, waiting for the 2 that were on the surface to come up. But what happens on a normal space flight is you do experience loss of communication periodically, including on our mission, even though we were staying around Earth. And your timeline's so busy, so you're not really thinking about it. But it's kind of that adventure or explorer's mindset that you're cut off from the rest of the world, and you start thinking about, well, what was it like for the explorers in the early 1400s, 1500s, 1600s to sail across the oceans and to be cut off from everyone and anyone for months at a time? That's the same type of exploration we get to experience again in this new high frontier of space.
So, Hanks, you said it changes a person.
Yeah.
If we change enough people, is this the kind of thing that can unite humanity? Because it seems like we're failing at that, frankly. Is this the kind of thing that can also have that effect?
There's an author, Frank White. He's been studying this phenomenon. He's called it the overview effect. And it does profoundly change people. When Yuri Gagarin, the first person to orbit the Earth, flew around in a Russian capsule, one of his famous quotes that I like to say is that he discovered that Earth is too small for conflict, yet just big enough for cooperation. And I think that's why people celebrate Yuri's Night like a big space party, and why we keep going and sending so many pictures back. I mean, on my walls and even on my computer desktop background, I have some of the images that I took of the Earth from a far vantage point. And it's just this incredible planet that we were made for. And we really can see how fragile it is as you go farther out and take a look back. We are in a very special location in this distance away from the sun, protected by Jupiter and all the other things around us, but it's only by like a thin margin that we are able to continue to survive. And we should do a better job of being good stewards of this planet.
All right, tell the story. How'd you get your call sign?
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Well, okay. So I flew with Jared Isaacman, and he is, of course, now the administrator for NASA. And if you're watching the Artemis 2 launch, you'll see him today. But I tell you what, we had an integrated simulation there at SpaceX in Hawthorne, California, getting ready for the flight. And we get one of those green cards passed up to us and says, hey, FYI, Chris is going to be loudly and violently ill during a media call, just like we're doing now. And so I get the microphone, and somehow I say, oh, hang on, excuse me just a moment, and just start making the most awful sounds you possibly can imagine. I hear Mission Control just starts dying laughing on the other side as I pass the mic calmly to my crewmate Haley. And later on, for my Oscar-winning performance a la Tom Hanks, I was dubbed Hanks.
That's great.
That's exactly how you should get a nickname. That's perfect. That's perfect, Chris. Love it.
Oh, absolutely.
Where are you going to be? Are you going to just kind of hang out at home, watch the launch? Where are you going to be tonight or this evening?
Tonight. Yeah, so watch the NASA broadcast, and you might see some locations around the United States featured. I will be in one of those here in Seattle, Washington, at the Museum of Flight with another 1,000 of my closest space nerds hanging out in the museum there. Looking forward to celebrating, Reed and Christina, Jeremy and Victor going off towards the moon.
Chris Sembroski, astronaut, U.S. Air Force veteran, flew on Inspiration 4. Hey, thanks so much. We're looking forward to it. Appreciate it, buddy.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Got to take a break. When we return, we'll get to some of your texts at 304-TALK at 304. The West Virginia Lottery Back to Roots promotion tour continues. Every $5 in-store purchase gets a chance to win great prizes, plus entry into the $40,000 grand prize drawing. Put your best 80s gear on and join the tour. Visit WVLottery.com for a stop near you. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. Back in a moment.
Building a stronger West Virginia isn't just a dream, it's a mission. The High Technology Foundation knows economic diversity is the key. For over 30 years, they've been dedicated to transforming the state's economic landscape. Conveniently located in the heart of West Virginia, innovation, growth, opportunity, all under one roof. There's no need to look far for change. It's happening right here at the High Technology Foundation in North Central West Virginia. Visit WVHTF.org to learn more.
Worried about paying for college? MetroNews is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to WVMetroNews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Senator Shelley Moore Capito is more than a true conservative and proud West Virginian. She's a champion of our way of life. She doesn't just fight, she delivers, working with President Trump to close the border and keep our families safe, protect our energy jobs, and cut taxes, and establishing the New River Gorge National Park, a powerful economic engine. Shelley Moore Capito, our senator, our champion.
I'm Shelley Moore Capito, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Capito for West Virginia.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stay connected to what's happening today in West Virginia.
What about this, or what about that? And it just went back and forth, and I was just the guy reading the text. Okay, so what's your take on the whole thing?
Well, now you just get me fired up. Now
right.
you just
So I'm gonna turn on. I'm gonna run down to Wendy's and grab a burger, and I'll be back.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. Makes you feel defeated. I'm just gonna be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not gonna be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
304 Talk, 304, the text line. Hoppy Kercheval going to join us coming up on the other side of the news break. If you haven't done so, go read his commentary this morning, a special Wednesday edition of the commentary. Hoppy's got the scoop on an historic House candidate Go read the commentary. We'll talk about it coming up bottom of the hour. Eric Nelson a little bit later on, revenue numbers for the month of March. 304 Talk 304. Texter says, give me a case of barf bags. I'll head to the moon. There should be bars there by now and a golf course for TJ. Neil Armstrong took his golf clubs, right? He didn't he take a couple of swings?
And had a Wilson Dynapower that has made a comeback in the industry the last few years. So, yeah, hit a Wilson Dynapower on the moon. It's still going.
How do we get through the Van Allen radiation belts? Have any humans ever survived going through the Van Allen radiation belts? I have no idea. 304 Talk 304. Come on, guys. Low-hanging fruit here with the space launch today. New toilet system on the mission, nicknamed Fruit Loops, and Big Bang Theory. Come on. Nothing ringing a bell, says the texter.
A great show.
Oh, yeah. Maybe Elon can make some robots to mine some rare moon minerals to use on Earth, says the texter.
I was looking the other day because SpaceX had just launched something, I believe. But that reusable rocket, is it up in the 30s now? The number of times they've used it, the one that comes back down and lands on the pad. It's remarkable technology.
I'll geek out with you for just a minute. Isn't it amazing that in less than 100 years, we went from Wright brothers at Kitty Hawk to a man setting foot on the moon, and then we went 50 years with never going back to the moon. 98 years. We go from man has never flown to we're going to the moon, and then we just kind of took a break. We're like, yeah, we're good with that. Good with that. I blame Dan Quayle.
Well, yeah.
Well, the vice president, right? He's in charge of NASA.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. It's the vice president, and Quayle may have had some issues there. I am looking forward. You kind of got to understand what's going on. I digress. I am looking forward to watching tonight. I'm going to watch the launch, and I look forward to seeing the camera angles. Maybe they'll have a few on board inside the ship. I don't know if that's appropriate or not, but I hope they do a broadcast from the moon. Remember in the old days when you would do the broadcast, the astronauts, and sadly, they stopped doing it because nobody watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Astounding to me. But I think it would be fun if they do a broadcast while they're up there.
Do we have?
I don't know if they're going to or not. I have to look.
Jake, do we still have the shot of the rocket sitting there on the launch pad? We had it there a moment ago. It's just kind of hanging. Is the weather okay? Are they going to get the thing launched tonight, TJ? Have you checked the weather forecast in Florida?
Last I saw about 6:30, and it was still looking good, but I'm sure that's fluid. But they were going to get it through, and they thought it would be right at about 6:30, and I think their window actually goes up until, I think I was, if I recall, Dave, don't hold me to it, 9:30 or 10:30 tonight is the window, so they have some time, but things were looking good.
L-minus 6 hours, 55 minutes, 15 seconds now till the rocket launches. Coming up, Hoppy Kercheval going to join us. He has a commentary at WVMetroNews.com this morning for a scoop on a historic House of Delegates candidate. Go read it because we'll talk about it next. Eric Nelson a little bit later on in the bottom half of the hour. 304 Talk 304 is the text line. 800-765-TALK. 800-765-8255. This is Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It is 11:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News. I'm Chris Lawrence. A collision on U.S. Route 60 in Fayette County has left one dead and one in jail. Sheriff Jess McMullen said Tanya Hedrick pulled her vehicle into the path of an oncoming car at the Glen Ferris Loop around 7:30 Tuesday night. According to the sheriff, a white powdery substance was noticed in her nostril as she received medical attention. She was later interviewed and a field sobriety test administered and a search warrant obtained for a blood sample. Hedrick was charged with DUI causing death. Authorities say the victim was a passenger in her vehicle and was killed. No names released. A fire in Marion County that claimed a life is under investigation. The blaze reported about 6:30 this morning in the 200 block of Walnut Avenue in Fairmont. Flames were showing from the attic when the fire department arrived. No word on a cause. Discussion last night about data centers remained calm and collective and attempted to shed some light on all points of view. What seemed to emerge from the discussion was a real concern that the new state law that cleared the way for those data centers to locate in West Virginia with incentives removes local control. Jefferson County Commissioner Kara Keys says that's a key worry of hers.
My philosophy is two things can be true. You can support data centers and you can be against the guardrails lacking in HB 2014.
Chris Morris is the Data Economy Office Director for the State Economic Development Office and says he does believe West Virginia will have more data centers. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
There's a lot of noise out there about the market and the economy, but what's really important to you and your future? I'm Shelley Hustle, a member of Huntington Bank's local wealth team right here in West Virginia. Join us for Money Minutes this Thursday at 3:45 on Hotline as we discuss the most important topics and what they mean for you, your family, and your business. Join us on Thursday for Money Minutes, providing insight into the market and how it will impact us right here at home.
Hi, I'm Grant Maltba, Project Manager with CEC. Ever dreamt of working hands-on with wildlife? As a bat biologist at CEC, I do just that. Every day is a new adventure, tackling unique challenges and helping clients meet their Endangered Species Act requirements. It's not just rewarding for me, but it boosts our local economy and aids bat conservation too. Want to make a difference in the field? Join us at CEC. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Today's the deadline for the governor to act on more than 100 bills still awaiting signature, among them House Bill 4191 that provides tax cuts to on-site child care operational expenses. Montague County Delegate John Williams.
Raising a family has gotten exponentially more expensive. We talk about wanting families to come here. Well, let's make it possible to raise one.
And those are expected to improve the workforce participation rate as well as possibly providing an incentive for new families to move here. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence. May not feel like it quite yet, but boat season is right around the corner, so get ready with great deals on pontoon and fishing boats at Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Check out the entire inventory at LouWendellMarineSales.com. Lou Wendell Marine Sales, we sell family fun. Hoppy Kercheval writes commentary today over WVMetroNews.com. Hoppy has the scoop on a first-of-her-kind political candidate running in Monongalia County. Hoppy joins us on MetroNews Talkline. Hop, good morning. Thanks for joining us. What's the scoop, Hop?
Good morning and April Fools on all of you.
All right, well, tell us. You've come up with an AI-generated candidate?
Yeah, I just was having some fun with that, but there's, I think, a deeper meaning here, and that is I just spent a few minutes, literally, on ChatGPT creating this fictional candidate for the West Virginia legislature, Jenny, and got a couple pictures of her generated by AI, submitted some questions to her and got some responses. And what I'm telling you is all factual. I'm not making this up. And if you've used ChatGPT or AI in some form, you know how responsive it can be. And within a few minutes, created a fictional candidate. And, I mean, I don't know how many people were taken in by it, but it was a joke. And as you go farther in the commentary, you can probably discern that it's a joke. But I think there's something deeper here, and that is how quickly and effectively you can generate a fake. And I've been watching this pretty closely, and I've heard from a lot of people who say, in fact, I saw a panel just a week or so ago, oh, I can detect a fake. I could notice the difference. You can't fool me. And we have to be discerning as consumers, which we do. But this stuff has gotten really good very, very quickly. And I was thinking of the recent deep fake. What was her name? Jessica Foster, is that right? Who was the person in uniform who was a deep fake and was pictured with President Trump and within various, service settings because she's supposedly in the military. A lot of people got taken in by that. So I think it's only going to get harder and harder and harder for people to discern deep fakes from reality.
I have to ask you, Jenny probably knows you better than you know yourself because she has the ability to do that. Were you persuaded by her answers?
I thought they were pretty good. I mean, it's uncanny how realistic. And again, I hear people all the time say, well, I can tell the difference. I thought it was uncanny how realistic her responses were. And I said in the commentary at the bottom that the responses generated by her those are accurate. Those are really generated by her. I didn't make those up. I made a notation in the commentary of each one that she generated. I thought, they're pretty good. And that just tells you, and this, I'm an old guy using AI. I mean, that just tells you how easy it is to generate a new reality for people.
I don't know which worries me more, the fact that real politicians are saying the same things as her, or she's able to generate those responses. I love this one. She's for fiscal responsibility, common sense problem solving, a strong local economy, job growth, personal freedom with personal responsibility, government transparency, and accountability. That sounds like about 100 people down at the state capitol a couple of months ago, Hop. I mean, yeah. It's scary on both sides of that equation, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really is. And I just wonder how many candidates will start using AI to generate, really reasoned responses to things. So AI is a tool, and it can be and is a very useful tool, but at what point does it cross over into I guess fake reality shouldn't be a term, Mm-hmm. I was thinking about this. So the Epstein files. Epstein files are tens of thousands of pages that have been released. The New York Times has committed a half dozen reporters to go through all of these files and find out what's in there and to write stories about them. And it takes months because there's so much information. And it's really quality journalism, but it takes a huge news organization with quality reporters months to sift through all this information. This afternoon, TJ, you could go to your basement and generate an image of Hillary Clinton sitting on Epstein's lap and send that out. And if you get it to enough people, it might have the same or more influence than all the work of the New York Times.
I'll bet you a Spring Hill hot dog, a dozen of them, Hoppy, that the New York Times used AI to sift through all that material. Yeah,
as
they
a
absolutely
tool.
did. Yeah, as a tool.
As a tool, and again, there's a difference between a tool to help you provide legitimate and factual journalism, or a tool to create a deep fake. I mean, did you look at the Jessica Foster one?
No, I didn't look closely
in the military. I mean, look at that. It looks, and again, somebody says, well, if you look closely, you can see it's a deep fake. How many of us look that closely at these things, A? And B, how many of us are looking for information that reinforces preconceived notions, okay? So if I believe, look at the current debate over data centers. So if I believe that, and I'm just making this up, so if I believe that a data center is a bad thing, and I see a deep fake that has a data center and the noise coming from it sounds like a freight train, would I be inclined to believe that?
Sure, you would.
So I think it's going to get harder and harder for people to discern truth, and it's going to take a lot of willpower on the part of individuals to seek out what is true, especially if it does not fit their beliefs or preconceived notions.
But these
Look
tools,
at all the AI-generated quote-unquote doctors that are out there.
These
providing
tools,
medical advice, and really what they're doing is pushing supplements. I'm a lot more worried about it than some of the people I've heard. And some of the people I've heard are in journalism saying, well, we're making sure that we follow all the that we create new ethical rules and standards and guidelines for using AI. Well, good for them. But that's legacy and traditional and respectable journalists. What about everybody else that's generating content?
We like the path of least resistance, Hoppy. We like the easy way. And it's interesting. We're having the debate on data centers this week. We had Jim Epstein on yesterday from the High Tech Foundation. He talked about the agentic web. I mean, you can download the ChatGPT Atlas browser, which is a browser that's an agent that combines all of this. So forget using Google or whatever browser you are. Now you can have the AI browser. People crave this, but at the same time, they don't want the data center that can provide it.
And look, that's the conundrum. I mean, look, I used AI to generate this story, and I use AI, to answer simple questions or for some level of research. But you know what? I'm not sure I want one next to my house. I don't know. And I know that kind of migrates into something you all have talked a lot about. I watched that panel discussion last night sponsored by Stubblefield, which I thought was very good, is that not all data centers are created equal. But one thing that's lacking is local input and local control. And the legislation is written that way. And TJ, I know you've written about your support for the idea of data centers. I get that. And you could be for data centers, but still want local input, where it's going to be and what standards are met and what it's going to do about water and noise and roads and everything else, right?
Mm-hmm. There's a sweet spot. There's always a sweet spot.
Yeah.
He's Hoppy Kercheval, the guy on this show most worried about the deep fakes, who created his own deep fake and then wrote a story about it.
That's kind of a hypocrite, isn't it?
Hey, I got to ask you quickly. You going to watch Artemis tonight? Are you excited?
Yeah, I think that's really, really neat. I mean, space exploration. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when I was young of the original Apollo missions and watching intently as we landed on the moon. It was a great, great moment, not only for this country, but for the world. It was just an incredible moment. And to me, the space program represents the possibilities, all that human beings can achieve. And I think that's the kind of thing that we need in this world to strive for. And I think it's inspiring. What about you guys?
I'm pumped. I'm geeked out about it completely.
Yeah, I think it's just, and we think the technology that goes into it, and and I've read a lot about the space program from the '60s, and when John Kennedy said we'll land before the end of the decade, we'll land a man on the moon and return him safely, and all of NASA went, what? We're going to do that before the end of the decade, and they got it done, which represented a can-do, which is very inspiring.
He's Hoppy Kercheval. You can read his commentary, his April Fool's Day commentary, over at WVMetroNews.com this morning. Thanks, Hop. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Eric Nelson with Revenue Numbers going to join us coming up next. When you choose CityNet, you're choosing a 100% West Virginia-owned internet provider with local support, no call centers, no runaround, just fast, dependable fiber internet backed by people who live and work right here. Plus, new residential customers can get 50% off any internet plan for a year. Visit citynet.net today. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Golf Week called Pete Dye Golf Club one of America's best modern courses. Golf Digest recently called Pete Dye one of America's 100 greatest courses, and Pete Dye calls it 18 of the most exciting and memorable holes I've ever built on one course. Pete Dye Golf Club invites you to join the only course named after the legendary designer himself. National, corporate, and local memberships available now for a limited time. Visit PeteDye.com to learn more. Come play where the Mountaineers play at Pete Dye Golf Club.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. and they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
We're panhandle cleaning and restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're panhandle cleaning and restoration, and we're gonna save you.
With Metro News Hotline, if it's trending, it's probably here.
And then the other thing, his last name is one of those weird Norwegian names where they have two vowels that slam into each other. It's like the A and the E are like cemented into each other.
You're like the 12th Dave that works here. What do you think people from Norwegian think about that?
That is fair.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good friend Bill Cornwell has informed me we got it wrong. It was Alan Shepard who hit the golf ball on the moon, not Neil Armstrong. My apologies to Alan Shepard, and thank you for catching that, Billy.
Billy, did I get the club right? It was a Wilson Dynapower, I think. So.
If anybody would know, Bill Cornwell, if you ever get a chance, he knows he is a plethora of information about a lot of different things. So
Sure.
If anybody would know the answer to that question, I guarantee you it is William Cornwell. So Billy, let me know. Was it that did we get the club right at least? Yeah. It is the first of the month, which means time to check in on state revenue numbers. Joining us on MetroNews Talkline this morning is the West Virginia Revenue Secretary, Eric Nelson. Eric, good morning.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
Doing pretty well. How did the state do as far as collections go in the month of March?
Yeah, thank you, Dave. So you were 3/4 of the way through the year, and March was another solid number. Roughly brought in $458 million. Which was $39 million over estimate. It's about 9% over. And then it was 4.5% over the prior year. Year to date, Dave, we're at $4.1 billion in collections, which is 199, so almost $200 million over estimate. That's about 5%, and it's about 3.1 compared to last year. This month was primarily led by higher severance and insurance taxes, and a lot of it's a timing issue. You hear me month to month, severance is up and down. This time, insurance was up slightly above estimates due to some timing. One of the big things, we're here in March, so middle of tax season, and our personal income tax was roughly about $17 million or 16% below estimate and 11% below prior year. A lot of that is due to higher refunds. We've had 10,000 more refunds year to date, and that's basically an extra $12 million that has been refunded. On average, our refunds this year have averaged almost $559 versus $539 last year. This month of April, we expect to be very strong because that's when most of your larger returns come in, and so mid-month we'll know much more. But our other categories were, flat to slightly up, and again, we're excited where we are and a lot of good things moving forward.
Morning, Eric. Thanks for joining us. Consumer sales tax collections totaled $155 million in March. Those continue to be up over the prior year by $12 million. Should we interpret that as we put more money back into people's pockets with further personal income tax reductions, they are stimulating the economy with it? Or is some of that inflationary? How do you see it?
TJ, it's a little bit of all of the above. Not only dollars back in people's pockets, we'll start to see some of the withholdings come into people's pockets because our tax cut that was just signed by the governor goes back to 1/1 of this year. Inflation component, but we had an awful cold winter as well that maybe slowed it down a little bit earlier, and I think as it warms up, you're going to see people wanting to get out and spend some money, and we're all happy about that. So,
Eric, what are you expecting?
I see that trend continuing. Yeah.
Well, that was kind of where we were going next. What are you expecting in this final quarter of the fiscal year here?
Well, April has historically been one of our strongest. We see that coming in. I did mention that our refunds are a little bit higher, but that's to be expected. And normally in April, you'll see taxpayers at the higher end coming in. And so we'll expect the PIT, the personal income tax, to be up. Severance continues to be steady. So, Dave, we still looked for a very strong final quarter. We're up $200 million year to date. Only expect that to be positive, north of 250, and it could be much higher than that. So we're in a good position right now.
Eric, I'm going to put you on the spot so you get a pass. With the governor just signing the tax bill to further reduce the personal income tax, I believe that was retroactive to the start of 26. So from now moving forward, should folks expect to see a difference in their paycheck? And then if that was retroactive, they'll catch it up in next year's refund. Is that how we should think about it?
So two points there, TJ. Yes, it is to 1/1/26. The 60-70% of our personal income tax comes from withholding. And so as the corporations update their withholding tables for employees, you'll start to see that money, in essence, go into the consumer's pocket starting here in April or next month. So, again, that's a 5% improvement for everybody across the board. So hope that answers the question there. But, again, withholdings will tell us a big story here.
Absolutely.
We'll have the story posted up a little bit later on this afternoon at WVMetroNews.com. He's Eric Nelson, West Virginia Revenue Secretary. We'll talk to you in May. Eric, we appreciate it, buddy.
All right. Thanks. Happy Easter to you guys. Thank you very much.
Happy Easter to you as well. Coming up, we'll get to some final texts, and we'll wrap things up here on a Wednesday. The West Virginia Lottery Back to Roots promotion tour continues. Every $5 in-store purchase gets a chance to win great prizes, plus entry for the $40,000 grand prize drawing. Put your best 80s gear on and join the tour. Visit WVLottery.com for a stop near you. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
Looking to advance your career without putting life on hold? Earn your MBA from Glenville State University in as little as 18 months. Choose from in-demand concentrations like artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and healthcare administration. Whether you're leading teams, analyzing data, or protecting digital systems, our programs are designed for working professionals who want flexibility and results. Take the next step with an MBA from Glenville State University. Learn more and apply today at glenville.edu.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to wvmetronews.com to apply. That's wvmetronews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
Approach your retirement with confidence. With over 150 years of combined experience, the advisors of the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group provide advice and wealth management strategies to individuals, families, small businesses, professional offices, and institutions. With the Stike team, you'll have access to an advising team with extensive resources, a client-first mindset, and a passion for helping transform the lives of those we serve. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike today and join the team that's dedicated to your success.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. Makes you feel defeated. I'm just gonna be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not gonna be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
That's all the time we have today. Big thanks, Jake Link, Ethan Collins, our video and audio producers. TJ's going to go watch the Rocket take off tonight.
Yes.
I'll probably watch some basketball and baseball and get the recap from TJ in the morning.
Will do.
Have a great day. Metro News Midday coming up on many of these same Metro News radio stations. Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.